In a whirlwind of political maneuvers and high-stakes negotiations, the U.S. Senate has emerged triumphant, passing bipartisan legislation that lifts the government's staggering $31.4 trillion debt ceiling. This momentous decision, backed by President Joe Biden, averted what could have been an unprecedented default that would have sent shockwaves through global financial markets. The Senate's resounding 63-36 vote to approve the bill, following the House of Representatives' earlier endorsement, came after months of intense partisan bickering that had left the nation teetering on the precipice of fiscal calamity. With the Treasury Department's dire warning that it would be unable to meet its financial obligations by June 5 if Congress failed to act, the lawmakers were racing against the clock. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, deftly steering the legislation through his chamber, declared, "We are avoiding default tonight." It was a moment of relief amid the political chaos that has gripped the nation in recent months. President Biden hailed the timely action taken by Congress, recognizing the bipartisan agreement as a significant victory for the economy and the American people. In a statement, he applauded the bill and expressed his intention to swiftly sign it into law. However, the president's involvement in negotiating the bill with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy underscored the gravity of the situation and the critical need for a resolution. While this bitter battle may have ended, Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell wasted no time in signaling the next budget fight on the horizon. In a statement, he vowed that Senate Republicans would continue to work towards fiscal responsibility and control the reckless spending of Washington Democrats. The upcoming summer months will see Congress grappling with 12 bills to fund government programs for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, aligning with the broad instructions set forth in the debt limit bill. As the dust settles, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen offered pointed advice, emphasizing that the full faith and credit of the United States must never be used as a bargaining chip. As had been witnessed during the preceding months of tumultuous negotiations, prior to the final vote, senators grappled with a series of amendments, rejecting each one during a late-night session in anticipation of the looming Monday deadline. The passing of this legislation provides temporary respite, suspending the statutory limit on federal borrowing until January 1, 2025. Unlike many other developed nations, the United States imposes a cap on government borrowing, irrespective of spending allocations authorized by the legislature. As Schumer aptly put it, America can breathe a sigh of relief. The intense battle between Democrats and Republicans revolved around differing approaches to addressing the rapidly escalating national debt. President Biden advocated for tax increases on the wealthy and corporations as a means to combat the mounting debt, while Republicans staunchly opposed any form of tax hikes. The entangled web of negotiations resulted in both parties protecting the sprawling Social Security and Medicare programs from cuts, leaving only a narrow range of domestic discretionary programs vulnerable to spending reductions. Ultimately, Republicans secured approximately $1.5 trillion in cuts over a decade, although the realization of these reductions remains uncertain, given the initial proposal for $4.8 trillion in savings. In an unprecedented move, the Treasury Department had been utilizing extraordinary measures since January to patch together the funds necessary to meet the government's financial obligations. The looming specter of default held grave implications, including potential job losses, a recession in the United States, and increased interest rates on mortgages and credit card debt for American families. The bill, which had already secured overwhelming support in the Republican-controlled House, faced its final test in the Senate. Recognizing the urgency of the situation, Schumer urged his colleagues not to indulge in needless delays or last-minute holdups, emphasizing the unnecessary and potentially dangerous risks involved. During the spirited debate over amendments, some senators sought deeper spending cuts than those outlined in the House-passed bill. Additionally, issues such as a West Virginia energy pipeline and border controls amid an influx of immigrants at the U.S.-Mexico border stirred passionate discussions. However, the Senate ultimately rejected these proposed amendments, with Democrats arguing that they would strip away protections for child migrants and hinder American farmers' access to much-needed workers. Despite the challenges, Schumer assured that the spending caps set in the legislation would not impede Congress from approving additional funds for emergencies, such as assisting Ukraine in its ongoing battle against Russia. He emphasized the need for adequate military capabilities to deter adversaries like China and Russia, safeguarding national security interests. The arduous process of cobbling together the bill unfolded over weeks of intensive negotiations between senior aides representing President Biden and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. The key point of contention revolved around spending for discretionary programs, with Republicans advocating for deep cuts, while the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office estimated the bill would save $1.5 trillion over a decade, falling short of Biden's proposed $3 trillion in deficit reduction through new taxes. It nonetheless represents a significant step forward. The specter of default, last experienced in 2011, loomed ominously, triggering financial market turmoil and the unprecedented downgrade of the government's credit rating. However, this time, as the week progressed, it became increasingly evident that Biden and McCarthy would find common ground and forge a deal that could garner sufficient bipartisan support. In the end, the Senate's passage of the bill to lift the debt ceiling serves as a temporary solution, offering a reprieve from immediate fiscal catastrophe. The United States, once again, narrowly avoids plunging into the abyss of default, but the battle for fiscal stability and responsible governance rages on. As the nation looks ahead, the upcoming budget fights and the broader challenges of debt management and fiscal responsibility will continue to shape the future of the American economy. Express your thoughts by leaving a comment in the section below. We appreciate you for sticking with us until the end of this video. Before you leave, please show your support by giving us a thumbs up and subscribing to our channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest videos. We look forward to seeing you again for more captivating content in the future.